Hello, everybody. Today we talk about Lazarus at my Walmart. It's September 28th, 2025. This week's gospel contains the well known parable of Lazarus and the rich man. This is another parable found only in the Gospel of Luke. Most Christians know it. The rich man ignores or just doesn't see Lazarus, the poor man, lying at his door, and eventually the rich man ends up in a place of fiery torment, which we would call hell. And the poor man, Lazarus, ends up in the bosom of Abraham, which would be like heaven. Now, certainly the chief point of the parable is that we must be aware and take care of the needs of the poor among us. Note that Lazarus was lying at the rich man's door apparently every day, all the time. So the rich man had the opportunity to do something for him, even if it was just let him eat the scraps that fell from his table, as it says in verse 16:21. Now, applying this to myself, Lazarus is the homeless guy who I see with some regularity standing outside the Walmart as I drive out with my car full of groceries. Okay. Now, I think most parish standard homilies are going to focus on the charitable aspect of this parable, so we don't need to dwell on it further here. What I wanted to talk about is the end of the story, which is where the rich man asks Abraham to send Lazarus to warn the rich man's 5 brothers, lest they too come to this place of torment. Now listen to Abraham's response. Abraham replied, "They have Moses and the prophets, let them listen to them." The rich man said, "Oh no, Father Abraham, but if someone from the dead goes to them, they will repent." Then Abraham said, "If they will not listen to Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded if someone should rise from the dead." Luke 16:29 through 31. Now, at one level, this could simply mean that a failure to listen to the Old Testament law of charity to the poor, such as we hear in today's first reading from the prophet Amos, is tantamount to ignoring the resurrection of Christ. And on that reading, the end of the parable is maybe just another swipe at the Jews, with Luke saying that those who did not accept Christ must have been bad at following Moses as well. But if you take a step back, those final words of Abraham should concern us Christians too. If we aren't listening to the demands of charity, we will just not see the resurrected Christ. Blindness to the needy is actually the same thing as blindness to Christ. And if that sounds familiar, it's because Matthew, of course, says exactly the same thing in his story of the final judgment. There, Christ himself states that what we did or did not do to the least of his kin, meaning, and he says, the hungry, the naked, the alien, and the imprisoned, well, we did or did not do it to him. Matthew 25. So, our final thought for the day: there is no faith versus works controversy. We believe in Jesus, and Jesus spoke these words to us about how we should live. And as he says, "Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I tell you?" Luke 6:46. Have a good week.